I'm Kristen Kish, and I am the executive chef and partner of Arlo Grey in Austin, Texas, also cookbook author of Kristen Kish Cooking Recipes and Techniques, and I am your host for Make This Tonight. We're going to throw it back a little bit to my Midwestern upbringing of meat and potatoes, steak and sides, and onion rings, which are probably one of my most favorite deep fried foods, although most deep fried foods are my favorite. But instead of the traditional onion ring, we're going to choose to use a leek. So if you haven't ever used a leek before, they're the big long onions that you find, and you may or may not have heard that they do contain a lot of dirt. So typically we're taught to cut it in half, soak it in water, but then you lose the actual round of the natural shape of the leek. So my favorite way to clean them is just to cut them in 1-inch pieces, half-inch pieces, and you just submerge them in cold water. So you let them sit over 15 minutes of time, and as they sit, all that sediment and dirt is going to kind of sink to the bottom, and it releases all that dirt without having to cut into the leek. And so once we soak them for a bit, we want to drain them and get all the water off. And then we're gonna make the batter. Again, I think deep frying in your house is this thing that a lot of people don't like to do. So long as you have a good vent system and you don't heat your oil past like 425, you're in a really good place. So the batter is really quite simple. It's just regular all-purpose flour. If you only have cake flour or bread flour, whatever, just use it. I'm all for just use what you have. And then we're gonna add a little bit of baking powder. Here's not where I would substitute baking soda for baking powder. The powder makes things puff. The easiest way that I learned how to remember it is baking powder puffs, baking soda spreads. It's true in most ways. And then we have a few different spices. So we have caraway, coriander, and a little bit of cumin. So if you don't like any of these flavors, by all means, swap it out. If you want to kind of keep it really simple, a little salt and pepper will go a long way. So, and then we're gonna add some milk. Now this is where like your little guessing game has to come in. It's hard to mess up so long as the batter at the end of the day is like a runny pancake batter, which I feel like we've all kind of come across at one point. It's a combination of soda water and whole milk. So if you're dairy-free, soy milk or just all soda water would work just fine. So we're gonna add a little bit of milk, and then we're gonna start to whisk it. So again, a little bit at a time. And if you add too much liquid, add more flour. So I think we're in a good place. Now, just a little note that as this sits, it will thicken. So if you don't use it right away and you put it in your refrigerator, all of a sudden you're gonna notice it's a little thicker. That's okay, just add a little bit more soda water. So we're not gonna worry too much about all the clumps right now. The thing about soda water and why we like to use it for deep fried items is as soon as those bubbles and cold soda water hits hot oil, it immediately does this expand and puff. So you get like a light, crispy, airy batter as opposed to something that's just like fried bread. So we're gonna now add our dried leeks and we're gonna throw them in. So really you can throw as many leeks as you need to kind of take up the amount of batter. Any leftover batter I wouldn't recommend using, so we do want to, you know. Okay, so all of them are submerged. Great, so now what we want to do is we want to let this rest in the refrigerator. We like to let things rest that have a lot of gluten so it just kind of chills out because we worked it a little bit. It's kind of the reason why we use when we make pasta dough or bread dough, we want to let it rest for at least 30 minutes. Great, so now we are going to fry. So it's a shallow fry, not quite a deep fry. You want the oil to stick around about 350. Once you know the oil is in a good place, I am going to remove that just in case. Now there's a couple rules to frying. Don't keep your face over the hot oil and wear a shirt that you don't really care about. So this has been resting, it's quite cold, and so when cold hits hot oil, it's going to expand and it's going to fry up really, really nicely, light and crispy. If you overcrowd the pan, that oil temperature is going to drop, and then when that happens, you end up with kind of greasy little leek nuggets, which isn't delicious. So once we have all that in, I'm gonna give it a second, and we're gonna start to flip them. So you can see as they start to turn a little bit brown, we're gonna give them the flip. So it's gonna take a couple minutes to really become really golden brown. So if you cut your leeks about that 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, by the time it actually turns brown, the leeks are gonna be fully cooked. And then always have your absorbent paper ready to go, a little bit of kosher salt. So immediately when you fry anything, you want to season it right when it comes out of the oil. 1, it helps stick, and 2, it just tastes better. So when they're nice and golden, kind of like this, we're going to start to fish them out. And really just season with salt as you start to take them out. So frying at home was always this thing that, I think my dad probably did, at least once a week, whether it be chicken fingers or onion rings. But typically growing up, we did open the package of Ore-Ida onion rings and we put them in the oven. Also delicious. Okay, so now that all of our leeks are out and nicely seasoned, just gonna kill that heat and let the oil hang out, and we'll come back to this in a minute.